Leader or chief, which is better? For that, let us talk a little bit about biology. In the human body, we have the head, which has the eyes, the ears, the nose, and so on. What the head does with the help of the eyes is basically see the fact, analyze it, think, and give the body an order to execute while it is still watching if there is a change to do. It basically it basically does the same with the hair, the nose. Now let's imagine something like if the head only sees, smells, ears, and after giving the order, he stops his ability to see, to smell, to hear, and doing something else. What may have been one of the consequences of that action? So, is the head a leader or a chief? A chief is the head of a group or of person or object who only gives orders to execute and is not involved at all in the execution as a helper and inspires fears. While a leader is a head of a group of person or object who directs, which means he does not give orders at all, but gives his point of view of the situation, listens to the group and motivate them, and is always here during all the process. Now that we know that the difference between a leader and a chief, so it is highly recommended to be a leader than being a chief because it helps the company as the environment of work will be full of confidence, support, and motivation for the workers, which help them not only work in order to make money, but work in the profit of the company, which is the reason why the head of a human body is considered as a leader and not a chief. Being a leader is not all that matter because you have to be a great leader. It takes more than only want to be a leader to be it. To be a great leader, you have to act in order to develop your listening skills. Listen more than you talk. Always analyze each one point of view with care because you might not understand the tidbits which will be the solution of the situation. You have to be humble and admit when you have done something wrong, and never blame the group telling them that they did it wrong, because you have to remember that a failure is not a reason to fire someone but an opportunity to improve something. I'm not telling that you don't have or you can't fire someone. Of course, sometimes you have to. But if you have to do it, you have to do it in the right time and for a good reason. And finally, one of the best attitude to be a great leader is always putting yourself in your workers, your team or group place in order to understand them better. To sum up, I think that it is much more important and better to be a leader than being a chief because there is much more benefits for you, your workers, and your company. That is why today I'm inviting you all. If you have been a chief, today might be the time for you to be a leader, and I can ensure you that you won't regret the change. If you intend to be a head of a company, don't think it too much and be a leader and act like a good leader. Be the leader that you will follow, because we cannot lead someone further than we have been ourselves.